Haha, we are live. Let's see, we wait for some people to jump on because I don't see anybody on yet. Hopefully it'll show us.
They coming in?
Not yet. But we'll see. We'll just sit here a second until we see some people that are on. I think we're gonna be looking right there. Still don't see anybody. Hopefully people will get notifications. I see 3 people. Y'all say hi when y'all come in so that we'll know y'all there. Hey Coffee.
Yeah,
Hey Bella. Hey Crafty Gals. Waiting for some more now. We got 10 people on. Y'all say hey. So that we'll know that y'all are here. So that we'll know who is here. Hey Mo Life. Hey Organized Mimi. Coffee said hey Mr. Parker.
How y'all doing?
Good evening. Good evening. Hey, B. How y'all doing this evening? So, me and Brian were just sitting here on a date. As y'all have figured out, we are dating. Hey, Sabrina. Hey, Erica. So, y'all figured out from the last video, hey, Mama. Hey, Mama. Hey Erica. She talking about hey old boy.
Yeah, I see. I noticed that. Yeah, I noticed that.
But anyway, we as y'all have figured out from the last video, we are dating. We are dating. Happy to say that.
Based on popular demand.
He said based on popular demand. Yeah. We were dating before we even posted that video.
That's the real though.
What, maybe like a month?
Yeah.
Before we posted that video?
We just kept it private.
Yeah, we just kept it private. Thank you. Thank you, Bella. You're so sweet. You're so sweet. But yeah, we were trying to keep it private, trying to keep it just between us so that we could, get to know each other.
Mr. P.
No, and Mr. Parker. Yeah, hey Atia. So so that last video that we posted was very popular. It was very popular. We had a lot of people that were asking questions in my DM. So we were talking about it and we decided that we would come on and answer some of those questions for y'all and just talk about relationships, since I guess that's a hot topic. It's a hot topic, and dating is a hot topic, and God is good. Yes, he is. All the time. All the time. Yeah, Crafty, I see those eyes. But yeah, so we had, like I said, a lot of questions. We had a huge response, and he and I sit and talk probably like 4 or 5 hours a day just about relationships, how we want to see this relationship work, how we want to honor God in this relationship. Like, we talk about everything, our kids, everything. Hey Pinky. Because dating after 40, like we said before, it is hard. It is very hard. So I wanted to answer one question. We open up your phone so I can read it and then we can answer it. This and I'm not going to say her name, but there was this one lady that posed a question in my inbox. She said glowing. I hope so.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm going to?
You are going.
Yeah.
But anyway, so there was one lady, and I'm not going to say her name. She asked a question in my inbox, and I thought that this was a really good question and something that we both could piggyback off on. So I'm just going to read it, and we all can talk about it after what she said. It's me, Holly. Hey, Holly, why does it say Mo Life? Who is Mo Life? Why you have your title Mo Life? But hey, Holly. So anyway, all right. So she posed the question. She said, hi, Lisa. I haven't had a chance to go onto the vlog and comment yet, but I do plan on doing so. I just had something I wanted to discuss with you. I wanted your advice on something. You don't have to give it. I do understand. She said, but I'm starting to talk with a guy I used to work with, and he liked me for a while now. He often told me he liked me and was physically attracted to me. Then he would describe how he wanted to make me feel good and wanted. Now when we talk on the phone or text, he tells me how much he wants to make me happy and loves me like a friend. But I feel like he is going way too fast. I feel like he may only want to hook up with me more than have a relationship. Yeah. I've told him we should move slow and get to know each other better as individuals and see where that goes. Okay, that's good. So the question is, does he sound like he may be after just one thing, or he may actually want to date and have a relationship? He is already saying, I am his and he is mine. Woo, child. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's a lot going on. So what do you think? Is he interested in her, or does he just want to hook up?
I think it's situational. It's really hard to say because we know like you can fall for somebody quite quickly, and you're genuine. You
Yeah.
just genuinely feel like, you know, I met this person, and we've all had those feelings where we've met people and we felt like we've been knowing them for quite a while. You know.
Yeah. Hey,
And,
Diamond.
and if she's a good person or whatnot, maybe he has certain feelings for her that's legitimate.
Yeah.
But I think they have to take it slow and make sure that, although they may be feeling a certain way right now at this very moment, and it may be genuine, you have to make sure it goes through it withstands the test of time.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't necessarily say it's moving too fast, or he's saying something that he didn't necessarily mean.
Yeah.
But I would say that give him the benefit of the doubt, and if the test of time prove that he's serious, then go with it. Just
Okay.
flow with it. Be positive, and just go
And
with
see
it.
it through. Go with
Yeah,
it and
just-
see it through.
Yeah.
Me, I feel a little different. I feel like he may be after one thing. Like initially. Like
Okay.
I feel like for him that's the goal. She's looking at a relationship. I feel like he's kind of looking at,
But you don't
I
know
don't get
it.
what you
You
mean.
don't know it. But that's stereotype. It's like a stereotype. We think just because he's a man, and because of the dynamics of how they're meeting, or how they met, and how things seem to be moving quickly, it just kind of makes sense to believe that he's looking for sex or something like that, or
Yeah.
just want one thing. Could be true. I'm not saying
Yeah.
it's not, but I think you should give him the benefit of the doubt.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you say date a little while, take it a little bit further,
Yeah,
continue to
absolutely,
talk
yeah,
to him.
yeah.
Because I mean, he was all in there talking about, "Ooh, you mine and I am yours" already, and they just met.
I mean, you have to have
So
faith.
weird.
You have to have faith. You have to believe. Like the Bible says, you got to call those things that be not as though they are. And so
Okay.
I'm not saying that this is his approach, but
Yeah.
I can see how.
Because he don't sound like he.
I mean,
into
you
the-
never know. You
into
never know.
the word.
But
He's
sometimes
like
you
he
have.
into getting hooked.
Sometimes you have to speak things into existence. Sometimes you have to call those things that be not as though they are.
Yeah.
If he really feels like she has the qualities to be a good mate or a good person to have a relationship with, so I wouldn't judge it just so quickly. I wouldn't go as far as to be intimate or
Yeah.
anything like that right
Yeah.
away. But unless he prove himself to be something different, I would give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah,
I think that's
Erica-
part of the problem.
Erica said that he sounds controlling. Run. Stereotypes become stereotypes for a reason. That's true, Erica. I hear that. That's true.
I can get with that
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah. Hey. So I'm just reading through
But,
some
I
of these.
guess
Hey,
I guess
Sissy.
part of my problem is I see the best in people even when they don't show it. And in
Yeah.
this case, he hasn't proven himself to be wrong. You just never know. It's just so early in the game.
Yeah.
You just have to take your time and make sure his character and integrity is up to par.
Yeah.
And like I say, one of the problems with, especially in the black community, is that we just assume that,
She said she can see the best in him from afar. I'm sorry. to
yeah,
keep
but
cutting
we
you off.
just assume that like men have bad intentions. Like
We do just assume that.
to some
We
extent,
do.
like and
We do.
and maybe he has an aggressive personality, but yet his intentions may be good. I
Yeah.
just think that don't put yourself in a position where you could be compromising yourself. Take it for face value what he's saying, and if he over time,
For
if
who
he
they are,
seems
not
to
for
be
their potential.
What happened?
She said, "See people for who they are, not for their potential."
Yeah,
is
you
it
just- that comes
assumption
with
or
time.
is it intuition?
well, I mean, I guess it's both.
Because you do have to listen to your intuition. You do, and women have great intuition.
But what is intuition?
Intuition is that thing that you feel as soon as you see a thing. Like when
Yeah.
you see it right off and you feel like, "Ugh," or you feel like that's not right, or that may be a little uneasy. You have to listen to that thing. You can't just say, oh no, maybe it's because I'm nervous, or oh no, maybe because of my past.
But
Nah.
haven't you dated somebody where you had intuition that this person wasn't going to be something positive and it turned out to be really cool?
Yeah.
For the most part.
Like Mr. Parker said, it's early, go slow. You just know.
Yeah,
We have intuition for a reason.
give a man a chance.
Right.
You know, he may sound, that's her take, her account of how things are flowing,
Yeah.
which doesn't seem to be too far off probably from his take. But at the end of the day, give him a chance.
Yeah.
And that's probably why we don't have too many functional relationships now, is because we have so many walls up in terms
Ooh.
of how we feel, the direction people are coming from in terms of coming to us.
True.
It's like we already stereotype the negativity.
True.
Or we see the negativity before it even have time to manifest.
True. Katrina said, I think keep talking to him. Just don't have an intimate sexual relationship with him and see how long he stays. If he wants you, he's going to be at what? He's going to be at it. If not, he's going to move on. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. If he is really interested in you, he will take his time. He will slow that thing down. He will, listen to you, and he will honor your request if he's really interested in you. She said no, but I've ignored intuition to find that it was dead on so many times. Yeah, you gotta listen to your intuition, because most of the time it's dead on.
No, see, it's situational. So that's the problem. Most of
the time.
But check this out. The problem is we have certain experiences in relationships prior to the relationship that we're in or pursuing.
Yeah.
And we bring in those experiences into the new relationship. So whatever positive took place, we kind of superimpose those positives into the new experience. But unfortunately, whatever negatives we encountered, we just kind of bring them over into the new experience as well.
That's true.
I know we can't be a clean slate.
No.
When we date, I mean, we have to accept the past that the next person brings into the relationship.
Yeah.
But I just don't believe, I just believe you have to give people a chance. And if he wants to be aggressive in terms of how he wants to see the relationship progress, then let him be aggressive, but just don't compromise your morals, your values, your principles. Stick to what it is that you feel is right, but yet give him a chance, because he may be aggressive by nature, but aggressive in and of itself is not a bad thing. It actually is a good thing, if you ask me.
For some men it is.
Yeah, you gotta give him a chance.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just my take.
Yeah.
I might be just me.
Yeah, those experiences are lessons. If you notice the red flags, call them out on it.
Yeah.
Diamond said baggage. Yes, sis. Yes. I mean, we bring it. We have to. Like, we cannot ignore our past and act like it didn't happen, because it happened. No,
but
tell
what
him
is
to back
baggage,
off with
though?
all that aggressiveness. She said no.
But, all right, so I have a comment about. So it's like, what is baggage? Is it like just because you've gone through something that had like a negative, like I mentioned before, a negative experience, and you bring that in to your next relationship? Is that considered baggage?
I would consider that baggage. The negative part of it is what I would consider baggage. So if you bring it in, yes,
you see my eyeballs.
I see your eyeballs.
I drop my eyeballs at you.
I think the negative part of it, like if you bringing in all that energy, like if you still holding on to it, harboring those feelings, still thinking about it, it still bothers you, still hurts you, and then you see one glimpse of that thing that could be in that next person, you give it all to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you put all of that on them because you saw one glimpse of something that possibly could be like that last person you were with. Then you like, oh, you just like them. So from your past experiences, I do think you bring that stuff in.
All right, so let me say something.
She said that's the difference between experience and baggage. Baggage is that leftover negativity that you carry to the next relationship. Yes.
But that's, all right, so this is what I'm going to say about baggage. So people know we're dating. And this is about dating over 40.
Yeah.
And so we bring in positive and negative experiences into relationships in our own personal dating.
Mm-hmm.
we both shared things. We were very transparent.
Very.
We were very honest
Very.
about our past experiences and how they've affected us,
Very.
both negatively and positively, right?
Yes, yes.
And some of the things that when I was younger, or somebody else who may be mentally immature, some of the things you shared and some of the things I've shared to you, some people may consider that to be reasons for us not to want to pursue a relationship.
Yeah.
But because we're more mature in our dating, the things that are seen as negative and seen as baggage, it shows strength. Like that's the reason, like I shared with you, like some of the things that you shared that somebody may see as a negative, explains to me why you're such a beautiful person on the inside, just a beautiful person just beyond your physical look. And that, so like, all right, in one essence it is baggage, but then it's like, how do you see it and how do you use your experience to kind of make that turn all that into a positive, you know?
Yeah.
So it just depends on how you see baggage. Like you can turn, you can flip it all around.
Yeah. So you can take that baggage and work it and make it good, make it a great.
Well, I mean, some people use negative experiences to make.
Oh, the video bomber behind us. Somebody is. The lady with the glasses. Look, she's like, let me cover her.
A reason for us to get close.
She said YouTube said her comment was too long. I'm sorry, Katrina. All that drama and old baggage is not fair to the new person. Take the lessons learned from your past and proceed with caution, but have an open mind. That's true. That's true. And there is a difference between baggage and experience. I'm sorry if I keep playing with my hair. It's windy out here. But if you bring negative attitudes to your next relationship, that's baggage. Which it is, because you don't want to bring, negative.
Yeah.
I heard you, Mr. Parker. That's right.
Yeah. See, I got one person on my side.
I'm on your side.
All right, I know you got my back.
You obviously have to bring your negative experiences to your next relationship. It keeps going away. Where did it go? Oh, there it goes. To your next relationship, but you can't bring the negative attitudes. That's true. That's true. But you do. You bring your past with you.
Yeah, because your attitude is just a manifestation of what you've gone through.
Yeah.
Like you just never know. None of us had like a perfect life.
No.
I mean, we have ups and downs, and we respond based on our experiences. I mean, your attitude is just a byproduct or a response to the things you've gone through.
Yeah.
I just think that when you come into a relationship, you have to be you can't dismiss your past. Like whatever you've done in the past that could be seen as negative, and maybe you may have a negative response to it, you can't dismiss it. You just have to be able to see within yourself how to correct yourself. Like you come into the relationship not ignoring like what you've been through. You come into the relationship thinking like, I need to be a better person. Like I need to be able to identify the things I've done and the things I've experienced, and see within myself, how do I correct that? Because if I don't love myself and if I don't correct it within myself, there's no way I'm gonna be able to date you effectively.
That's true.
Because if I'm not clear within, or my conscience is not clear, or if I'm not happy within, it's like there's no way for me to be prepared to date somebody else. So I think the most important thing before going into a relationship is to kind of that introspection, looking within yourself, making sure that you are prepared and clean and pure, not from experiences, but the effect that it had on you, especially the negative, and just allowing yourself to be open and available to the next person.
Yes, that's why me taking that whole year just to be by myself and just to get to know myself, experience some things, find out what it is that I wanted. That's why that really worked for me, and I'm so open now because I took that time to heal from that stuff, because I dare not take that negative energy and expect for you to be able to make me happy.
But see, the way I
clear up, and to clear up my bad situation.
But see, the way I see it, I have to be strong. Strong isn't necessarily muscles, although I have muscles enough. But strong isn't necessarily muscles. Like, I have to understand that when I'm bringing you into my life, that you are going to have times when you're going to have ups and then you're going to have downs. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And I can't prejudge that. I can't look at the downs as if it's a negative thing. I have to be able to be strong and to help you see your way through those situations.
That's true.
You know?
That's true. That's true. So, Takia, I think that's how you say your name. If I'm mispronouncing it, I'm sorry. She says you can start a person off on a clean slate, of course. Just remember the lessons you have learned from those failed relationships. Also be sure to notice your flaws from the past as well. That's true. Amen, Mr. Parker. Yes, you better say that. That's Diamond. That's the same person. Same person.
Man.
So you don't repeat the cycle. That's true. Atia is clapping for Mr. Parker. You got two people, babe. You got two people. I agree with Mr. Parker saying I just don't agree with the verbiage he's using concerning baggage. Sorry, being analytical. That's fine.
Yeah,
That's what we want. That's
Yeah.
what we want. That's good. That's a good man. Amen. Thank you. He is.
Thank you.
He is. I agree to an extent. I get it. Y'all better come with it today. Thank y'all. But yeah, we sit up and we have some of the best conversations. Like I said, we can talk on the phone for what, 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
Sometimes the phone will actually disconnect while we're sitting on the phone talking because we're talking for so long. And most of the times we're talking about relationships and just how to make our relationship better, how to make it work, because we want to see this thing to the end. I can agree. We can agree on that, right?
Yeah.
Like, we want to see this thing to the end. And a lot of people, she said the devil, and a lot of people don't go into the relationships or go into dating like with that in mind. Like, you have to talk. I think that's the number one thing, is to be able to communicate. If you have good communication, you can talk. She said, I bind the spirit of disconnection. Okay. She said, but if you can talk about it, if you can talk about any and everything, then I think that's the foundation. It'll work. I think that it'll work. So if you find somebody that you can talk to, that you can listen to, somebody who is just going to be there for you, that's a great start. That's a great start. She's in here, she's laughing at Diamond. Yes, no matter what. She said, I bind the spirit of disconnection of the phone. She says, yes, I agree with that. So with this man, with that question, that yes, communication can fix so much. Communication and prayer. Yes. Prayer is like, God has to be in the center of everything. So that's no doubt. So Coffee has a question. Do you think you should have to tell a man how to treat you? Ooh. Hold on. Did I go out? She said, would like both perspectives. So I'll let you go first.
Tell him. If he doesn't know how to treat a woman, he's already in bad shape.
That's the same thing I was going to say.
I don't know what to say about that. At the end of the day, you just looking, when you date, you're just trying to verify that this person have the proper qualities to be a good mate. But you can't raise a man up to be what you need him to be as a man in your life.
Exactly.
So that's my take on that.
Exactly. And I would say, if you mean how to treat a woman, if you are meaning like, I don't know, how he should court you, or how he, I don't know which way you're coming with that question. But if you're saying how he should court you, then maybe you can explain that, like how you want to date and how you want to talk and how you want the steps of the relationship to go. But as far as how he treats you, he should already know that. That shouldn't be something that you should have to tell him. So let's see. But I also think, let's see, someone said, but I also think at our age, we basically already know what we don't want. That's true. And if he shows you traits you don't want, let him go. That's true. Sometimes they need a little help. Diamond says sometimes men need a little help on how to treat you. Organized Mimi said, that's right. You cannot raise a man. Sometimes people don't do all the qualities just because of age. Maybe the women he used to date didn't require that from him. Right. Kick bad men to the curb. So teach him. Yeah, it's nothing that you could teach him, I don't think. If he's not treating you right, or if there's a certain way you want to be treated, then you know how that is, and you know what that looks like. So find somebody that's gonna do just that. I don't think you should be able to, or you should have to tell him, because if you tell him, then he's doing something that's outside of what he would normally do.
Exactly.
And then it won't continue.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
He'll
Like,
just do it for the
he'll just be
meantime.
doing it for the moment. He'll be doing it to get you. He'll be doing it to get you to the point that he need to get you to. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And then after that,
What you talking about?
that's it. And then after that, that's it. So, yeah. So, Coffee says, there was a meme that said, I refuse to go through another period in my life where I have to explain to a man how he should treat me. That is true. You do not have to explain to him. So my mom says, tell them a little, not a lot. Watch and see if they are learning you or not. And that's what, yeah, Mama, that's what I meant by saying, you know, show him, you may be able to tell him how to date you or the steps in the order you want the relationship to go in. But as far as how he's treating you, he should already know how to treat a lady. And if he's not treating a lady the way that you see it, because we're all different. We're all different. Some women see treating a lady good as like opening doors all the time and, you know, just, you know, I don't know, paying for all the meals and, you know, back rubs and foot rubs and all that. But me, I see it as good conversation. I see it as dating. You know, I see it as, you know, him being respectful. You know, I see it as him like asking about my kids, stuff like that. That's how I see it. She said, thank you both for that confirmation. You are so welcome. Erica said, I'm too old for games. True words of wisdom, Mama. Yeah, she said that, and that's true too. So yeah, don't sit around waiting for somebody to treat you right. Nah, It's a lot of good men out there. That's another thing. We stop and we think that, oh, because we're over 40, we're not gonna find anybody. All the good men are taken. People just don't do X, Y, and Z anymore. That is not true. That is not true. There are some good people out there. Pray about it. Wait on God to send them to you. And when God sends them, it will be clear. Right. It will be so clear. It won't be any hesitation. You won't have to fight anything. It'll just come together effortlessly. And that's how you know. That's how you know that it's of God. Because it'll just come together effortlessly. She said, not true. I had to teach my now husband how to communicate. He never had anyone require or request in that manner. They were yes people to spend his money where I required the utmost respect. Okay. So she's saying that she had to teach her husband how to communicate. Okay, so communication is a way that you see as, you know, treating a woman good. Just like me, I love to talk. So if I can talk to a guy, if I can talk to a man, then I feel like he's treating me right. So, but she said she had to teach her man how to talk.
Well, she taught him how much communication is important to her, and he probably loves her or like her to a great extent.
Well, she's married to him now.
So he was open to making that adjustment. He already had it in him to communicate. Exactly. She just taught him or made it clear that it was important to her that he communicate. So that's what that is. I think like we're Christians, right? So whenever you let somebody, when you meet somebody, you look for the Christ in them, right? The Christian character, you know what I'm saying? That's what you become attracted to. You don't teach people. You don't look for something you can teach the person to be. You look to see what God has in them already that you're attracted to, that you guys have in common with each other, which is a Christ-like spirit. You know what I'm saying? So if you have a right heart for you, or if he has, even from the start, he doesn't have to love you, but if he has the right heart and the right intentions, then he's going to do all he can within his power to be an effective partner in your life, or potential partner. So I think it's very little you can teach a man. It's almost like raising a man to be something. It's already in him. Sometimes you just got to let him know what's important to you and how you want to be communicated to.
That's true. That is true. So going back to reading her comments, let's see. She said that I don't need his money and he knew it and that woke him up. Well, that's good. I just wish I could find a man with a job. Sometimes men need to be reset. So do women. That's true. I think that sometimes communication still needs to be worked on, but I just don't feel like I should have to explain that. If I ask you not to do something, sorry, I keep touching the wrong button. If I ask you not to do something and you continue to do it, then that is disrespectful. Oh, Coffee, I hope you don't explain that to a man in that way, because that that's a little rough. Exactly. At this day and age, I seem like most men would. It seems like most men would know how to treat a woman, but there are still a lot of them out there that's lost, and that's true.
And
While
that's because they don't have good examples in their life.
Ooh.
I mean, I don't want to stop you from flipping through reading questions,
No,
but
that's
it's
good,
hard
though.
to treat a woman a certain way when you've never had real good examples. You may have had good men in your life, you know, to help you, for you to see or look at
Mm-hmm.
in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But most people nowadays don't have a woman and a man in a relationship with each other to see that.
Text me, boo.
Yeah, to see that part of it.
Yeah, you better say that, Mr. Parker, okay? Because a lot of the time, these men, they don't have anything to gauge it off of. So how should we, as women, how should we treat men like that don't know,
Don't know
that
how
never have had the example and don't know what to do? How should we treat them?
Well, it's, you can only just be yourself to me. So you only can just be yourself, and if you see that a person just went through life or something and didn't have a good example, maybe they didn't have a father in the home, or maybe they didn't have a mother in the home to see in a relationship. Maybe they saw them working together in many different capacities, but they just never saw a good example of two people in a relationship.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to just allow them to gradually develop those skills by you just being a good Christian or a good person in your life. Not to say like you have to spiritualize the
That's
whole
true.
relationship, because some stuff is just not, you can't get across just by being spiritual. Sometimes you have to really do other things. Like the Bible says, you have to, a woman cares for the things of the world that she may please her husband. So it's some things in the world that you have to do. It's some things that you have to become attached to make a point, just to kind of make sure you are doing your best to please your man, right?
Yeah.
So I think you just have to just show it by example, but it's really through love or whatever, and then communicate. Like
Yeah.
you mentioned that, and a lot of people have mentioned that.
Communication.
Just communicate, like, hey, you know, this is what I like, and this is how I would like to be treated. And as long as it's done in love, because
Yeah.
men have egos, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you castigate or if you talk down to a man, you're not going to get the same response as if you found the way to say it in a loving way.
That's true.
And it's unfortunate because a lot of women, or a lot of people in general, see men as just so tough to where you can talk to them any kind of way, and
Yeah.
they should be able to just take it.
Yeah.
Some of the most fragile people in the world are men. Are men, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like it takes a wise woman to be able to see that and not look at a man and stereotyping to be like he's so tough, so I can just talk to him any kind of way I want. Like, it takes that wisdom that comes from a woman to say, you know what, let me be gentle with this man, and it doesn't take away from his masculinity by me being gentle and careful with how I say things. I think the Bible refers to how it takes a wise woman to kind of like bring out the best in the home. You know what I mean? And I think that's something we should allow to guide us when we start to develop relationships, especially with men who have never had good examples. Like, I think there's plenty of things we can do to start to set the pace and pave the way for both men and women to be functional.
Yeah.
We just have to take the time to get it done.
Yeah. And male egos are extremely fragile. We were having a conversation. I'm going to go back and read y'all comments in just a second. But to speak on that, we were having a conversation like 2 nights ago, and you were talking about how working for Child Protective Services, when you would go and pick up little kids and stuff like that, like the things that you would ask for. Like, remember you told me about the photos? Tell them about that. 'Cause that
Oh yeah. So So I used to work for Child Protective Services, and all my jobs basically have had something to do with working with kids. And this is one thing I was telling Alicia. At one point, you would come into kids' lives and adults' lives at a point where they're at their worst, supposedly, like behavior-wise, and the things they're doing, they're basically at their worst. And sometimes you can get wrapped up into what they're doing. Like, you see the behavior, but you don't see the reason why they're behaving the way they are. And sometimes you lose the human aspect because you're so busy worrying about why this person is being bad, not acting out or displaying bad behavior. And one of the things I used to do to keep me in touch with the humanity of a teenager at this case, because none of them are really adults, is when I went into the home to start to assess like why, or try to figure out why things were happening the way they were happening in a negative way, I would ask the parent, let me see this child where you would just imagine like gang banging and all this stuff. They doing all sorts of stuff now and looking a certain way, looking the part, and it's stereotypical in a way. But I say I want to see a picture of the child when the child was like 5 and under. And if I don't care what 9 times out of 10, I don't care how thuggish a man is. I don't care if what they doing or what they look like. If you see a picture of them from 5 and under, you just see a regular kid, smiling, happy. You know, you don't see no thug in them.
No.
They're a clean slate when they come into this world, but they pick up certain traits along the way. And some are more attracted to negative qualities and negative ways of behaving because it gets them attention in life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because
and it's unfortunate, you know, because and then they start to do things that they shouldn't. Only because they want the attention, but they don't realize what they're doing is going to lead them down a path where they might end up in jail or somewhere where they regret being. It's not like they setting out to be there. You know what I'm saying? So in order to see some people human side, you can't see them for where they are right now. You got to go revert back to when they was a child and look at them when they was a clean slate or close to a clean slate.
So you just have to see them and see their original grace, like see all of that goodness in them and refer to that when you go and, you know, deal with them in that negative light. I just loved that story because I never thought of it that way, and when you said it, it just made my heart so warm because I was like, oh, you go and look at the pictures of the kids.
You know, before you start flipping through the questions, by you saying the heart, like one thing, and it's unfortunate because with your planner page, people get to hear and kind of see one aspect of you, and I know like your personality comes out into what you do. I see your fingers and all that stuff. I've been on your page, you know, I support. But I think that it doesn't, you know, like your planner side and who you are is so, the planner side is like a segment of who you are. But you're such a broad person, like you have such a big heart, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, and I think it's unfortunate, I don't know if your planner community kind of see that part of you. You know what I'm saying? No, it is. It's true. It's true. I mean, and I think that sometimes, like, it's a good thing. Like, it's a good thing for people not only to see like the things that you're interested in, but to see the heart behind it. Because you're
so sweet. You so see, and we on live, and he
I'm
over
trying to be
here.
sweet. I'm just trying to tell you, like, so yeah. I mean, well, maybe that's the reason why I like you. So maybe that, you know, outside the fact that you're beautiful.
Thank you. See, y'all, we can't even do a live. We got to record next time.
No, I mean, I'm gonna tell you this. You can probably quote me because I'm the type of person that's try to assess a person's character, try to understand a person's morals, values, what drive them, guiding principles, and all that stuff. I don't really jump into relationships too quick because I don't like meaningless relationships. Where it's just, you know, you get in, you out for one thing only, and then you go on about your business. I'm a little bit more mature mentally, maybe chronologically aligned with where I should be. I don't know, but mentally for sure. And it's like I'm not attracted to just being in and out of relationships. And it's like the one thing I notice about you is that like your heart, like you have like a beautiful heart, and I think I noticed, like, I complimented you first.
Y'all so sweet.
No, but look, I complimented you first. Look, I complimented you first on Facebook because you had such an attractive Facebook page where you weren't showing all your body and all this stuff, and most people think men want that. And it's like, they can play with that, but at the end of the day, it's like you had such a beautiful persona and image in your Facebook page, you know what I'm saying? And I'm very fortunate and I'm grateful to have the opportunity to date you because not only did I see that you were beautiful then, but I'm seeing like this whole side of you. I just thought like, man, it'd be cool just to kind of see like who you are, but I didn't even think you would be as beautiful as you are right now. You know what I'm saying? On the inside. No, seriously.
Thank you.
And I think that it's unfortunate that your planner community don't see what I see because it's so much beauty, not in just your art, creative and artistic side, but just who you are as a person. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful to have a chance to date you. So, I mean, I'm going to plug that in every day. But I'm going to stop, though, because I
Thank you. Yes. See, she's talking about that. See, look. He just took me all off kilter, y'all, with the comments. I mess around and cry on here. Look, let's just stop, go back. What were we talking about?
Just pick up from anywhere.
what were we talking about? But yeah, we were talking about dating. And you know what? This is just part of dating. It just is. And I'm just grateful to God, that somebody has come into my life at this very moment. I know, right? Don't cry, Lisa. Y'all know I cry all the time. All the time. But I'm just thankful to God that somebody came into my life at this point and at this time. Yes, maybe we are 40 and we got a couple things wrong, or maybe we didn't get it wrong. It just wasn't supposed to work out. You never know what God is doing in the background. So I'm just thankful and just grateful. I could go on and on and on about how great this guy is, but I'm going to say that for another time. I'm going to say that for another time because it's not what y'all got on here for.
But I'm gonna say this then. I'm gonna say this. Y'all get on me. Y'all put me off this channel. But, so we talk, and it's not that we know for sure that we gonna end up together forever. We are very realistic.
Oh yeah.
We talk about the reality of like.
Yeah.
We've been in 100% failed relationships, whether it's our fault or the next person's fault. At the end of the day, we're single at this point.
Yeah.
And it's a true possibility that we can all end up single at some point.
Yeah.
Or things may not work out between us.
Yeah.
But I think what the key between us is that our hearts are pure towards each other.
Yeah.
And if by nature, if things just don't naturally work out, then they just don't naturally work out. But at the end of the day, we don't have to be mean. We don't have to be, just bad people towards each other. I think what people have to learn is how to date. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you come in with a good heart and I come in with a good heart and good intentions, then I think, that's all you can ask.
That's all you can ask
That's
for.
all you can ask.
Yeah, and you can make it. You can make it past that point. You can get to the next step and to the next step. And it just takes time to, like, figure everything out. You're not going to see everything right up front. So it takes time to figure everything out and to get to see those things, because like we were talking about yesterday, like we haven't seen each other angry yet. We still got to do that. It's a lot of things that have to happen. So a lot of time that has to go by. But in your dating, just know, like, have hope. Like, don't go in looking at the end. You know what I'm saying? Don't go into the relationship thinking about, talking about, and expecting the end of the relationship. Like, be optimistic. Go in with an open heart. Go in with all your issues on top. Like, when we started talking, we talked about everything that was wrong first. We were not talking about all the good stuff and the glitz and the glam. We were talking about everything that went wrong. I was going through, and I had been going through for the last 2 years grieving over my brother's death. So he comes in right in the middle of that, not even knowing, not even ever meeting my brother, but and just came right in and just was like, picked up my little spirit. You gonna be okay or whatever. So so he came in and we started this relationship with an issue, like something that could be critical, because some days I didn't feel like talking, some days I didn't want to laugh, some days I was in a bad mood. But he was talking, he was laughing, he was like, let's go on a date, or whatever.
Yeah, we got a date.
Yeah.
Let's go somewhere, let's do something.
Yeah. I'd be like, kind of low, and he's like, let's go on a date. Let's go somewhere, do something. Yeah. So you just have to, be all in. Be all in. And we both also say, that we pray to God, God, we want this relationship to be great. We want you to honor this relationship. We want you to be in the middle of this relationship. We expect the best out of this relationship. Yeah. And then, once God sends it, once God gives it, we can't turn around and say, well, is this real? Like, we can't doubt God, we can't doubt God. We can't say, God, did you really send this person? You have to trust that what God said he will do, he will do. Yeah. You have to trust that. And then, honor every commitment that you make. If you make a commitment to each other, honor those commitments. If you say you're going to be somewhere at a certain time, do that. If you say, that you want to talk about a certain thing, do that. Honor those commitments and be open and be honest and just be ready for the experience. And you can see it to the end. So we are honest, always honest. We're always talking, and we do want to see this thing to the end. So y'all be praying for us too.
But one thing I want to say is don't give up so quickly. One thing we talked about is like how easily it is for people to give up on each other. I know there's core values, and I mentioned this before, like there's certain core values that we all have that we don't want to have infringed on.
Yes, Sabrina.
Or to have somebody...
No, I'm sorry. I was reading Sabrina's comment, and Sabrina was like, yes, you was talking You were saying that the other day, and it's 100% true. Yeah, that God will send you what you're praying for. You just have to ask for it. But I'm gonna go through and read all the comments again in a minute. I'm sorry.
No, you good. You
go
good.
ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, basically, just don't give up so quickly. We all human beings. At the end of the day, you know, none of us are perfect. If you have an issue or whatever with somebody, just make sure if it's a core issue, like something that defies your core values, then, you know, if somebody's abusive in terms of verbal abuse or physical abuse, those are no deals. I mean, those are deal breakers, you know. But at the end of the day, like, you have to be able to be open to getting through some tough times together, because the test of a relationship isn't so much of how, in terms of if you're going to be successful, isn't defined by you going through good times together.
That's true.
It's how you deal with the bad times, right? And the lower times in life. So you should welcome that. Like, when you don't agree on things, or when you know, it's just conflicts that's in a relationship, you should kind of welcome those opportunities, because those test the relationship to let you know whether or not you can make it.
Thank you, Dominic.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely true. Let's see. I'm gonna try to go back and read some of these comments, y'all. Tiffany's like, "Don't cry, sis." Now, sis, we were just on the phone a minute ago. You know I've been crying. My second husband is a great communicator and very respectful. My first husband was very emotionally abusive, so I came into this marriage struggling to open up, but he trained me. God provides. Hey, sometimes that works. And if it works, thank God. Glory to God. We definitely see her heart, and that's what drew me to her, not just her pretty planner spreads. Thank you. Thank y'all. Babe, thank you for saying that.
No, that's the truth.
I really appreciate that.
That's the truth.
Let's see. Oh, this is a good one. I'm a special needs teacher in public school. You have to look to the parents as the root cause of most bad behaviors. Woo! That is true. That is true. So yeah, I'm sorry we fell behind on comments because we were sitting here talking. But we are not going to hold you guys. We are going to go and enjoy the rest of our date night. We just thought this would be a fun thing to do. And we've been talking a lot about like maybe doing a YouTube channel, maybe, or
You good at this.
I don't know, doing more of these videos like this. I don't know, because it's fun. It's fun, and we have a lot of fun talking, and a lot of times we could be talking and I'm like taking notes. I'm like, so wait a minute, hold on, say that again. Wait a minute, hold on, say that again. So I would love to like get him on camera just talking, and because we just kind of feed off of each other, and I think it's good, you know. So, and we have helped a couple of people. So if we just help one person, then that's all God wants, right? That's all God wants. So, yes, Jesus, say it in the spirit.
Or to be authentic, you know, it's not that you have to feel that you have to know all the answers, all the right answers to say, but just your experience. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes we learn from different experiences, you know, and the main thing with topics like this is just to be authentic and be true to yourself as you speak. Mm-hmm. And some people may understand exactly where you're coming from, and some may not. But at the end of the day, it's based on, every relationship is different, and it's defined by experiences, you know. And so I think it's all about being authentic and true to yourself when you speak. And I'm not a relationship expert, and but I have my experiences in life, and I've taken away certain thoughts and you know, from those experiences, and I don't mind sharing them. Yeah. But I'm open to also being in a platform where people can share
with you,
with me, because it helps me to be a better person if I'm able to catch things, like, you know, like how we talk. If I'm able to understand through communication things that you like, or you know, or whatever the case may be, then I'm able to adjust my behavior. I can never adjust who I am or my personality, but I can adjust my behavior to be more of the type of person that, or communicate, what was it, the 5 love languages?
Yeah,
like
the 5 love languages.
Communicate in a way that you receive it best, you know?
Yeah, we were going over the 5 love languages one night. Like, we spent 4 hours just talking about that, and talking about what our love languages are and what we liked and didn't like. And y'all, that was so interesting. So I told him I would like to do at least one video, like reflections video over that, because we had fun with that. So anyway, we're not gonna hold y'all up. You better know that book, sir. I guess she's talking about the Bible. Diamond told me you better know that book. He knows. He knows.
At least
his
I quoted
word.
two
two scriptures.
How many you quote?
I didn't quote not one scripture. Not one scripture. Because let me tell you, I'm not gonna get on here and misquote. And misquote a scripture. But anyway, y'all, this was fun. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and there'll be more reflection videos with Mr. Parker, because I don't see him going nowhere. Okay, I'm on long. Calls.
Man, you kind of grabbed me kind of hard. Yeah, man. I'm a little fragile. I told you men are fragile.
You didn't say men are fragile.
I'm good. My muscles still intact.
Bye, y'all. See y'all next time. Bye.